Have you ever top 8'd a Flesh and Blood skirmish event with only your sideboard equipment? Because I did, with this guy. And today I'm going to tell you about it. With skirmish season coming to a close on May 10th, I wanted to do a little recap video telling you about my first skirmish season, the highs, the lows, the lessons learned, and convince you that maybe next skirmish season you go out and play at your LGS, because I had a lot of fun. Hey, I'm the Threaded Ren. If you like Flesh and Blood, cosplay, and the occasional cat, then don't forget to like and subscribe because there's much more coming your way. Skirmish season 14 was the first skirmish season that I was able to attend. Skirmishes, if you don't know, are a series of competitive events. They're usually held within a certain time frame at local game stores, and they're a perfect blend of competitive as well as some laid-back vibes because there isn't a PQ or PTI on the line. However, that doesn't mean there aren't prizes. There are cool promos as well as playmats for the winners, as well as a few giveaway prizes as well that make it fun for everyone who goes out. What makes this skirmish season special, besides the fact that it was my first skirmish season, is that the format for this skirmish season was Silver Age. Silver Age, if you don't know, is a format that utilizes young heroes, and it's restricted to commons, rares, and basic cards. The life totals of younger heroes are smaller, and the games only last typically 35 minutes in length. One of my favorite things about Silver Age is that it's super easy to get new players into. The games are shorter, so they're less intimidated, and they can literally go out to their local game store and buy ready-to-play decks that are honestly awesome. I really recommend 5, but I'm biased, but he's great right out of the box. And if you do want to make upgrades, they're very cheap because, again, commons, rares, and basics. They're also easy decks and cheap decks to throw together on your own. I honestly think it's the best entry point into Flesh and Blood because it feels competitive without overwhelming them, and an easy way to get their foot in the door. Selfishly, I was really excited when I heard that skirmish season was going to be Silver Age, because that meant that my friends who had been trying out Silver Age, going to a few armories here and there, could get a taste of the competitive side of Flesh and Blood while not being overwhelmed with a PQ or PTI on the line. Now, what about competitive players? With the lower life totals, one misstep can really hurt you, and it can be really hard at 20 life to regain tempo once you've lost it. So I have learned a lot, and my play has been cleaned up a lot through these skirmish matches, as well as just playing Silver Age at armories and with my friends as well. I honestly, every time I go out to my local game store, have like 3 or 4 Silver Age decks on me just in case somebody wants to jam a learn to play game. The time you've probably all been waiting for, time to hear about how I top 8'd my first skirmish event ever with only my sideboard equipment. Let's talk about it. It was the night before the event, and I was playing some learn to play Silver Age games with my friends. I had lent out my Fi equipment, and at the end of the night, I thought I put it back into my deck box, but I guess I didn't. So in the morning, I was running a little bit late, and I was like, I played it last night, I know everything's there, I'm good to go. I just grabbed my deck box and went along my way to my skirmish event. And then as I was double checking at the event, which you shouldn't do, always do it at home in case you end up like me, as I was verifying my deck list and my deck at the event, I realized that I didn't have my main board Fi equipment. I only had my Arcane Barrier and Anti-Frostbite sideboard equipment, which isn't great. I was really at this point deciding between, should I just drop because I don't have my equipment, or do I just play it out and do the best that I can, which probably isn't going to be great because I'm missing a lot of equipment. But I already paid for the event, so I said, you know, what the heck, I'll just play it out and have fun. And, you know, as the day was going on, I was doing all right. Honestly, I was so surprised with how I was doing. I wrote off making top 8 completely, so I was just taking it one game at a time. And honestly, every time that I sat down across from my opponent, I was like, this is going to be the match where I am absolutely punished and just really going to regret forgetting my equipment at home. And that didn't really happen. And as we were going about the day, I finished 3-2, which I was like, wow, that's really great, but I'm not going to make top 8. And then they called my name, and I was 8th. I am still in shock and can't believe it. It's such a crazy thing that this was the first top 8 I made, and especially at my first skirmish event. The whole experience is so funny and crazy to look back on, that this was my first top 8, and it also taught me an important lesson. You know, sometimes you just have to show up and play with what you have and focus on each match rather than being really concerned or getting really upset if you think that you are no longer in the running for top 8 or for the result that you wanted. My second skirmish of the season, I made sure that history did not repeat. I double, triple, quadruple check my deck and my deck list before heading out to my skirmish, which made the day go much smoother and made me feel a lot better going into the tournament itself, which is a huge improvement. I played Fi again because I love playing Fi in Silver Age. I play him any chance that I can get. I went 2-2 on the day. I got wins against Vincent and New, and then I lost to a Briar and Terra. If I would have beat the Terra, I would have gotten into top 8 again, but it is what it is. When I reflect back on this skirmish season, the thing that stands out to me the most isn't my record, isn't my first top 8, it's the people. When my friends or just people in general ask me about Flesh and Blood and why I love it, the thing that I always say is the community. The Flesh and Blood community is one of the best communities I've come across while playing TCGs. And this skirmish season, I got to play with people new or veterans, play against heroes that I normally wouldn't play against in CC, or heroes that had LL before I was playing Flesh and Blood, so that's really cool. Learned more about competitive play, and I just feel more connected to Flesh and Blood as a whole. So that's why I really had fun playing Skirmish season this season. And if you've enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. I want to make more Flesh and Blood content showing my journey, whether that be tournament stories, weekly recaps, cosplay projects, event vlogs, all of it. I'm just really excited to share my Flesh and Blood journey with you all, and I hope that you follow along. And in the comments, let me know, how's your skirmish season been? Or maybe tell me your biggest tournament mistake so I feel less alone in my forgetting of my equipment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!